Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. Not a great rack. I don't have a bingo here, and I can't see a 5-letter play which gets the V played, whether or not it gets doubled. There could be one though. Some of these tiles are quite synergetic. The V goes well with all of these vowels. And I'm thinking about playing Vagi. My only hesitation, the vowel-heavy rack leave. Although the C as a scoring tile does go well with vowels. Vagi takes nothing before or after it. And there are no 2-letter V plays, so it inhibits parallel plays. I'm going with this. Pretty good. I draw no vowels. And I have some scoring tiles. I think my initial pretty good was just based on avoiding the vowel glut. It's not a rack which is awash with candidate plays. I do have Chang on my rack and Ganch. So I have 3 high-scoring tiles, plus the G. I'll be looking to reduce that. This I could be quite handy if it remains available for an ing word. Not seeing any great candidate plays in that spot. Well, I now have backing, which gets rid of B, C and G, which is quite nice. Nuke takes a D after it and an S. So this is what I was thinking of, backing for 26. What about bocking? I think that's good because bocked is good. Bocked takes a Y at the end, which is quite a funky hook. So bocking for 26. Nice balanced rack. X for score. I lead by 20. Right now the X can go next to the O of bocking, but there's a strong likelihood that will be taken. But any parallel play is going to open up fresh opportunities. This V of Vagi is really stifling the development of the left-hand side of the board, unless a bingo is played in row F, and that's unlikely because it would need to end in A or M. Now I'm just looking at NA in case I have a 9-letter play. There could be one with NA. I'm thinking of Xanthemia, which I'm not sure is good, and in any event N and A are not in the right place for that. Still no D for nuked. But if opponent's got that, he may play it. Parallel plays to bocking unlikely because they'd need to begin with 2 vowels or 1 vowel, so not scoring as much as a parallel play at the top of that word. Should this spot remain available, I have Max. My H can go next to the C, but that's not going to work with the X next to the O. So I don't really have any candidate plays apart from ones in the top right. But I'm sure I'll have options available. Still wondering if this rack makes an 8 or 9 letter bingo. I'm sure it makes some 9s. But the floating B, O and G, not suggesting anything. Wow, great bingo by my opponent, 87 points, and he does take my X spot. Provides a couple of new floaters in the A and the M, which are duplicating tiles I have, so that I don't think they assist. I've got AXE in column 13. I've got Maxi in row A. I've also got Max Im for 48 and quite a nice rack leave. Can I do any better than that? Maxim takes an A and an S at the end. I'm going with this. Pretty horrendous, duplicating E's and I's. However, the H means I should be able to keep scoring. I trail by 20. Very limited opportunities on this board. B and V takes nothing in the middle. My L can go between O and E. But none of my vowels go between C and R. G likely to be developed by an ING play. I have Heli in row B. Do I have something which gets doubled? No, I don't think I do. R and V of Marva's inhibiting plays in column 13 are only taking an E after it and V taking nothing. So really just 2 and 3 letter plays available. Can't see anything with NA. UG takes an H after it, but HN next to each other. Not many such words. Maybe something like schnorr. But not anything that I have. Now, what about Maximite? That stays available. I think it's good. If it is, it's 57 points and a decent rack leave. Bang! And it is good. Wow. Pretty much played that when I saw it. It was clearly better than anything I'd previously considered. And I really hadn't considered extending Maxim. I had just thought about the one letter hooks that it took. So, I still trail, but only by 7 points. 2H is not fabulous. I can sort that out by playing Heil. That would split them up. No pressing urgency to get rid of both. Unless that is the best score and rack leave. Heil doesn't get tripled. I think the best I can do in terms of getting something tripled is Inlet, keeping 2 H's. 26 points. Heil is 1 more point and a better rack leave. I wince slightly at this rack leave, 3 consonants. Could mature into quite a nice rack if I draw 2 or 3 vowels. If I draw 0 or 1, I could be looking at a really low score next turn. So, can I do better than Heil? It's only 27 points. Well, I don't see anything better. I'm going with this. Great, I draw 3 vowels, albeit 2 of them are U's. However, I could play something like hung. I now lead by 20 points, and one of the attractions of Heil is that it's provided nothing for my opponent, and the rest of the board doesn't provide very much. Well, opponent has found a good scoring play, which doesn't open the board up, so I'm now in the position that he was in, but without the option of a 40-point play. So I've still got this HN spot, and it's still equally useless for me. I could play... well, no I can't. I was thinking about playing unhung to get rid of both U's, but I would need an extra N for that. I trail by 20. I think ungu only exists with an S at the end as the plural of unguis. Well, what about this? Ug for 21, surely better than changing. And I'm just wondering if it takes an S at the end. Not that that's going to change my decision. So it takes an L and a T in front. And I only mention that to try and prompt recollection of its post hooks. Not coming to mind. It may take an S. Ug for 21. Well, no S's or blanks for me. I think I would have unwitted onto a D. Still 3 D's to come. I have unwhite through the H. Wow, look at this, we're dead level. Really close game. Unwit is good. And look at this V has absolutely prevented anything from being played on the left-hand side of the board. It is literally the only tile on the left-hand side. Quite a tight board. Row B available as a bingo lane. And I am going to check the Yug hook because I can. And it is good. Unwhite would inhibit that. And score about 28 points and sort the rack out, so it's certainly my candidate play of the moment. But very few scoring spots on this board. I can't see any extensions to Heil, which reach the triple word square. I don't even think it takes an S at the end. So 1 blank and 3 S's to come. Good score for my opponent, and he takes my spot for unwhite. It does still play, but for a significantly lower score, so I'm not going to be playing it. And opponent leads by 30 points, which is a bit annoying on a tight board. Close to Janana in column 8. Boy takes nothing after it that I have. So do I play on white? 14 points and an okay rack leave. I think this is better than changing. But is it? This provides quite a hot spot in column 14 with a high scoring tile on this triple letter square. But I am going to go with this. I think I need some volatility. I trail and unwhite creates 2 or 3 hot spots. I'm going with this. Well, initials through an A. Otherwise, a little bit grim. However, good to see an S. Only 1 point tile, so I am going to struggle to score. I've got an L for going underneath boy. But I think the best I can see there is lint, and I'd like to play off 2 eyes. Wow, great bingo for my opponent, and a natural, meaning no blank played, and indeed no S's played either. So opponent now has got a good lead of about 90 points. And no A for initials, which would have played. 3 A's to come. So, what to do here? How do I play off 2 eyes? I've got until on my rack. I could play licit in column 2. Quite tempting. Because good rack leave, opening up 2 very good bingo lanes, and in particular row O is a triple-triple, which might be my best way of getting back into the game. And the T goes quite well with INS. This is massively volatile, but I think I need to do something which is massively volatile given how much I trail by. I'm really a couple of bingos behind, 90 points. If I bingo and then opponent plays, I'm still a bingo behind. I'm going with this. Not great, slightly vowel heavy and no bingo. And certainly no triple-triple. I do have a scoring tile in the Y. So a play of YO somewhere would leave a good 5-letter set. Let me look at the remaining vowels. 11 out of 30, so it's vowel dry, which means keeping a vowel heavy rack leave like AEINS is fine. Now, can I play off YO? Well, I've got it above the U of coupler. 24 points. Do I have an alternative? This board's suddenly wide open. The E of unwhite, a useful floater. I've got Yo and Mo, but that's a pretty miserly score. Wow, fantastic bingo by my opponent. Back-to-back bingos for him, so I now trail by 150. But look at this, the triple-triple lane remains available, so if I had a triple-triple, I would have been able to draw level with my opponent. So this remains available, Yo for 24. My opponent likely to block the triple-triple, but may not, and if he doesn't, I think that would be my only hope. So Yo for 24. So I have a strainer. I do have a triple-triple. I am expecting it to be blocked. However, even if it is, I have alternative bingos. I have Sierran in column 2. Opponent does block it and scores 60 points in the process, so now leads by about 200. Where's best for my bingo? So the anagram of Sierran is Snaria. And I'm now looking to minimize my losing spread. So Snaria is certainly better than Sierran. Can I do better than 77? Well, not that I can see. I'm going with this. A ton of ease. Only 4 tiles in the bag. So it remains to to be seen if I can play off 2 E's and play another bingo. But even if I can, that will be still in the context of minimising my losing spread. So I have Z. What else is available? No scoring tiles on my rack. And none of the tiles in Snaria are floaters for a bingo apart from the S. Opponent could be light on vowels. He could have no vowels. I'm not able to take advantage of the triple word square in the bottom left to any great effect. I could play Def and Dop for 28 points. That's quite a good score. Eight minutes on my opponent's clock, 9 on mine, so this game played at quite a pace. And that's just the way some games turn out. Certainly not a deliberate intention to play fast. But there's no point in tarrying if you think you found the move that you want to play. Now I have read in column 1, R-E-A-D, keeping, or R-double-E-D in fact, keeping A-double-E. I wonder if I have something longer in column 3. Well, I don't think I do, because I don't have anything which goes after the S, so I'm restricted to 4-letter plays. So really not seeing a great deal available to me. Opponent will probably leave 1 in the bag. I really can't see anything through this T, apart from something pretty lame like Eater. I do have a red in column 3 for 23 points. And opponent plays in the instant that I switch the camera over. 30 points, good score. He's emptied the bag, so I can see what he's got. He's got just the 1 vowel, so I'm looking to go out in 2. So I don't think Def achieves that, keeping 3 E's and an R. So do I have read here? 28 points, I can certainly go out with double E. I think I do. I'm going with this. Oops, read not good. Okay, so I don't have that. Here doesn't work because dar is not good. Opponent has got stow in the bottom left, so maybe I should in some way be blocking that. So I could play D for 18. Well, I'm not going to go out with what's left. 8 minutes on my clock. What about a play through OP? Not seeing anything. Just checking in case opponent's got a bingo on his rack. There is this floating E available. So I have deer. Look at this terrible rack leave. So I think I need to try and play off 5 tiles. So what about reed? Is that good? 28 points, or is it just deer? It is good, wow. Okay, I play a valid word. Opponent now does have stout, he also has stout. But in any event, the game was lost. And I couldn't see any way of going out in 2 by playing at the bottom. There may have been such a play. I have AE, Dada and Re for 19 points. Do I have anything better? EA, Z and Ya for 18 points. That's one fewer. Wow, 36 points for opponent. Opponent doesn't see stow or stout, which would have been 42 points, so that was a bit of a let-off. He has blocked my AE play, but I can play it here for 18 points. Or I could play EA, same score. Do I have anything better? AE and ET, 14 points. No, I'm going with this. And the final score, 376 to me, 504 to my opponent, a winning margin of 128 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first. I played Vega, and I still like that, although Carver available for slightly more points, and also a slightly more blocking play. So possibly Carver, but C I think is a more bingo-y tile than the G. In any event, little between them. Opponent plays Nuke, and I have Bocking, but I also have Hocking in the same spot for 1 more point, but Hocking takes front hook, so I like my play. Great bingo by my opponent with Marthas. Now I have Maxim for 48, and that looks fine. Opponent plays Fad, and now Maximite for 57 clearly looks best. And at this point I lead by 20. Opponent has Trank, and I have Heil for 27, and again that looks fine. Opponent plays Jar, or Ya, whatever. I have this rack, a couple of U's. I play U for 21, and UNT isn't a terrible rack leave. Opponent plays Boy. And, wow, chew it, I didn't consider that. Where's that? K13. Wow, making Got and High. Yeah, I would have probably done that for the score. The T obstructs high-scoring tiles on this double letter square. And it's significantly more than I got for unwhite. Opponent now has a great bingo with Coupler and moves into a 90-point lead. Look at these scores, almost nothing over 20 points. So I play licit for 14, keeping INS. I still like that. Opponent has dualies, and now my hopes rest on a triple, and I don't think there is one. Although I'm close. If the Y had been a V, I would have had Stovane. So 8 only extinguishes my triple hopes, which I didn't want to do. Nya'o, one of the new words to have entered the word list earlier this year. So I play Yo for 24, keeping AEINS, and that is a much better rack leave than anything above. So I like my play. Opponent plays Furzy, which was a great spot. And now I have Snaria and Sierran. Snaria scoring the most. Opponent plays Toad. And now the bag is empty. I play Reed, I think. Yeah, found that in the end for 28. That's... wow, I was going to say that's Stout for 41. It is. But swapped available in column 4 for even more points. So well done if you spotted that. And finally, AE for 18 was best. So absolutely rip-roaring game for my opponent as he zoomed to a win of over 500 points and over 100 points of spread. So well done once again to him. Quite a high-scoring game overall, nearly 900 points. So I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.